Hi everyone, it's Jez here from Nigezza Creates, and it is the 1st of the month and it's 6 o'clock, so it's Stamp Around UK video hop. I will link down below to everybody else taking part in the hop, and the theme is fun fold. So I imagine you're going to see lots of fun fold cards, but I decided that I'd play with a fun fold for a sheet of 12 by 12. And I'm going to do a kind of one sheet flippy flappy sort of journal. So this is my prototype. I've literally just made it. It's not decorated and there's no tags or anything in it because well, I'd run out of time. Deadline to getting this filmed is tonight, and I've just got back from 2 days of being on a craft retreat, so 3 days rather, and yeah, I'm exhausted, but I thought I'd get this done. So I've used some retired paper for this, and so it's 12 by 12, so it folds out here. We've got pocket here, pocket here, pocket here. We fold these 3 flaps down, and we've got 3 more pockets, and then we've got all this space. So this was a directional piece of paper, so if you've got a directional pattern on one side, that has to go on the inside for it to be up the right way, and then the bits I've cut off, I've made these pockets and the trim for the edge there. So you can make tags, and you can to go in the pockets, and then these could have photos or journaling spots or whatever you wanted to put on them. You could add more pockets if you want, but this is the basics, and I'm going to see how long it takes and to whether or not I can decorate it on camera. If not, I might quickly make them off camera and add them just in photos afterwards and give you a flip through. But one of the things that we discussed over the weekend was what an amazing stack of 12 by 12s that we all have, and so yeah, I thought we'd get on and use a sheet. I do love sort of one sheet wonders. So yeah, so I'm using the what's it called, just rubbish, brain's not working today, Earth and Elegance range. It's the only pack I've got from the catalogue. There's some lovely papers. I have used it quite a bit, and I picked this sheet. There are lots of sheets I could have chosen. This one would have been no good because of this pattern. So oh, that sheet even, so that wasn't going to happen. I could have done this sheet. Because I've used some of the sheets already. I wanted to use a sheet I hadn't used, so I've used that one. I've used that one. I've used that one. So, and I've used that one, and I've used that one. So actually, this is the only sheet I haven't done something with. So that's why I've chosen that sheet. I have got the rest of this sheet, which I might use for some pockets. I might use any of them for pockets and decoration, but we'll see. So it might, you know, this bit is like a one sheet wonder, but I might drag in other ones. So yeah, I think I want that for the cover because it's all sort of grungy, and I don't know. I mean, it's sort of mixed media on top of it's like it looks like sort of embossed craft card, and then lots of inking and stuff on it. It's quite nice. So I thought that might make a nice sort of cover, and this could be the inside, because it doesn't really matter which way up that goes. So first thing I did was a chopped 1.5 inches off it. So I might just chop 1.5 inches off rather than go. So you start off with a bit that is 12 by 10.5. So just slip your 1.5 inches off, and that gives you a strip then to make your pockets with later, whichever way round you want it to be. If you're centimetres, then take full centimetres off. Centimetres and inches are not directly comparable. You can't. You wouldn't want to know what the exact centimetres were, because it would be ridiculous sums. So there we go. So when you've got, so with the 10.5 inches, you're going to score at 4 and 8. Okay, then twist it round, and then I wrote it down as I was sort of working it out. So we're going to score at 3 5/8. Now I'm not going to give you this in centimetres. I think most school boards are in inches, although somebody did say the other day at my retreat that I was at, not my retreat, I went to somebody else's retreat, 3 5/8, that they had a centimetre school board. So there we go, 3 5/8. Then we're going to go to 3 7/8. So that giving us our little sort of gusset for folding over there. So we've got the big one there is 1/4 inch. And we're going to have just a little 1/8 inch there, just so it sits nice. So when you've stuffed your pockets, it works well. Then we're going to go to 7 7/8. So then we've got a 4-inch section. And then we're going to go to 8. And that's our little 1/8 inch gusset there. I don't know how well you can see that. Okay, I think that's visible. Now you've got your little tram lines here and here, and what we need to do is cut out them up to this first score line. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just have a crafter lunch under my desk, is just fold and burnish this one so that I know where to stop when I'm cutting up our little tram lines there. Okay, so I'm going to get my big scissors, which I haven't unpacked yet. So I went on the Rach and Bella Crafts retreat. Amazing is all I can say. Absolutely amazing time. And I haven't unpacked yet, but I've started doing this. So I'm actually slowly unpacking because I need some things. Now you've got, if I hold this up and see what you can see. So you've got your score line, and your score line has like a little divot. And so you've got an outside and an inside of the score line. We're going to cut on the outside on this side and the outside on that side. So the two extreme outsides we're cutting. We're doing that on both of them. And that just helps with the folding up. Okay, so I find my big long scissors really useful for this sort of thing, because you're doing it in a bit of a swoop. Just a few little cuts takes it up. You might need to go in and tidy bits afterwards, but yeah, that'll do. You could do this on a trimmer. I find that once the score line's been put in, that it don't cut so well. You kind of get a little rip mark, and I don't like it. Can't like it. So there we go. Get that up to there, and then might have gone a bit squiff there. Don't matter, does it? There we go. So I have gone a little squiff in there, but it doesn't matter. So you're taking that wee little strip there, and you can see where I went a bit squiff. So I thought I'd make a little quick fun fold, and then I thought, you don't do quick just. So yeah, don't even know why I even thought I'd do a quick fun fold. I was going to do like some of the fun fold card designs you get. They make really nice flips in junk journals, and I was going to do one of those, but I don't know. I just went, no, I'm going to do a whole sheet thing. There we go. So that's them cut out, and then we're just going to fold these up. Now I did go in and do a little bit of trimming again, afterwards, but for now we'll just do the folding up. These pockets, the observant of you may realise that they're actually a lot deeper than the original ones. That's because I cut some off. There we go. So just fold them up, quick and easy. And then you've got 2 score lines on each of these that you need to put in. I'm going to unfold for doing this. So score line 1, score line. It's always difficult when it's only 1/4 inch to put these score lines in because they're so close together. Bit easier. No, that's 1/8 inch. Bit easier with 1/4 inch. If you haven't got a scoreboard, you can use a ruler and a bone folder to make the score lines. So that over that for that way. So that's your basic little construction done there. And then I thought it'd be nice to have little slanty pockets here and a straight one in the middle. I thought that would be aesthetically pleasing. So took my trimmer and I decided I wanted this middle one to be 1.5 inches deep. So we're cutting that one first. So we put this fold line at the 1.5 inch, or 4 centimeters if you work in centimeters. So cut that one off. Got that for something else. Well, it's actually what I used for the strip on the front in that one. So now we've got that at that. I want my diagonal pocket to start there and go up to the edge. So on here, I want to once again put it at the 1.5 mark, or 4 centimeter if that's what you're working in. Okay, I'm going to put a little, I don't need it over, so I'm just going to do a little score mark there because that's the point at which I want to start, and I'm going to put the other point at the other end. Again, you could do this with a ruler. We did discuss at the weekend about the use of a ruler and a knife, and lots of people use those. So that's that, so they're even. And so then we do the same on this one. So we need to measure, I could do it at the bottom actually, of my trimmer because I've got the marks at the bottom. So I can put the fold there at the 1.5 mark, do my little mark there with my bone folder so I can see it, and then go the opposite direction, Jess. Put the point there, mark there, and take that off. So that is how we got those pockets done, like that. So they will get stuck down and then they'll fold up. And then the strip we cut off is what I made the other pockets out of. I did think that I could use these instead because I just think that's like quite a cool pocket. So I might do that instead for these back ones, because I quite like the look of that. Gives it a nice, it's kind of like a rusted look, or it could be a cake, could be a chocolate cake with icing over it. But yeah, I liked it a lot. So I am just going to cut that to 1.5 inches because that's how deep I chose it to be. And then I'm going to measure across here to see how wide I want this pocket to be. So it depends on your cutting what it will actually be. So mine's coming out there at, when I put my glasses on and I can actually read it, that's coming out at just over 3.5, sort of halfway between 3.5 and 3 5/8. Actually brings in those pesky little 16ths that some people don't like, but it's there on your trim and you can see it. So that, if I can pick it up, goes along there, and I might adjust. That's about right. I might just take a sliver off, but I'll leave it on there for now. And then I'm going to measure the next one. I'm not going to measure it from the bottom because I went squiff. I'm going to measure it from the top. It is, or I might trim a bit more off that. I might even that up. I can do that. As I said, there might be a little bit of adjustments. So where I've gone squiff in there, I am actually just going to go up there like that, and that straightens it up. So it's like that. So now I can get a better size of what I want. And I want, so now I want just a smidge, smallest of smidges, over 3 7/8, I think. I've forgotten already. Do you know, my memory's shocking. Yeah, so I'm going to go to 3 7/8, which is there, and I'm going to go the smallest smidge that way. To get my pocket on there. And now it's kind of saying I didn't really need that smidge, Jez. So there we go. Different rulers measure slightly different, but it's no harm done. I'll just take a little sliver off. And there he is. There he is, done. And then one more. So I'm going to cut this bit down there so that I get this section, so it's like the same. And go to 1.5. I've got the same section. No, it's that section. We'll go to 1.5 that way. Going to come in from that side. So it won't run exactly, but they're split up anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So we'll just do a quick measure there. Looks about 4. So you measure your pockets sizes. I say it does depend a bit on sort of user error and that. That looks like that would have just come off there. I think that's more by luck than judgment. And that's those pockets done. So I am just gonna very quickly glue those all in place. I'll speed it up a bit whilst I'm doing it, and we'll just be gluing around the 3 edges to put them in place. So that's all of the pockets now done. And then I'll fold up and go like so. Now on the the original, I just used the bit that was left over and I turned it round to do that. But I'm gonna go back to this here there for it, and I think that will be a nice little edge there. I do like the way that looks, and that was how I secured the ribbon underneath. It is going to look like that on the other side, so I'm not actually sure I like that. Might, cooking on gas now, put that on the other side, sandwich that there, so it looks like that on the other side, and that on that side. Yeah, that might look better. And then I've got a little bit more security there for the ribbon, so doing that. So, oh, this should be 4 inches. Oh, it's just under 4 inches. Is that correct, Jess? Don't feel it. Don't feel that that would be correct, but it might be. Oh, it should be 4 inches. It's just under 4 inches. I think it will work for its sandwiching. Let's see. I'm going to cut this 4 inches, 10 centimetres. If you are a centimetre person, that's roughly, yeah, I'll have that on there, like it. So I'll stick that on the outside. It does actually need to be a bit longer. I'm going to take this because I've got that left over, so I'm going to put 4 inches on that, and then we can just sandwich them both together, and actually that gives it a lot of strength to be that edge. And it's just going to go and sandwich to the way on there. To be the right width, like so. So that's what we're going to do, is sandwich they two together, and it will look like that on the inside. Yeah, we can do that. So what I did was I took my bit of ribbon, so I'm going to find some ribbon. So I'm going to use this ribbon. It's retired, but I think it will go really well with this project. I was thinking I had very little left, but I've got another reel. I bought it when it was on clearance, as you do. So I need a bit that side to tie my bow, and then I did have it going round a couple of times. You could just have it going round the once, and if you've got a big enough tail for your bow, it doesn't matter. I think I just went. I don't think I guessed very well when I was trying to work out how much I needed. So to save ribbon, I tie my bows and everything whilst it's still on the reel, so I don't cut too much like I did last time. So I am going to leave a little bit extra. I'm going to go like that to give it a chance to grow, and I'm going to pull this ever so slightly that way, so I've got a little bit more that way. There we go. So what I did was I took a bit of double-sided tape just to hold it in place there at the centre. About the centre, yeah, that's about right, Jess. That'll do. Just put it on the edge. It's going to be well and truly secured in because you're going to have it glued down in different places. So let's just pull it up. There we go. Now it's moved. Great. There we go. About there. there will go. And then I'm going to put a bit of tape on the top to give it another level of security. It's probably don't need it because I'm going to glue some paper over the top. I say you can use any sort of 12 by 12 paper that you've got for this. Make it in whatever style you wish. I'm just using this paper because for the blog hop we have to use currant. So I'm going to glue all the way on the edge of this top layer. I'm going to get my glasses down because I need to see properly. So I'm gluing along the edge, gluing along there. I'm going to come down. So I'm doing about 1/2 inch or a centimetre's block here. I'm avoiding the ribbon for now. There we go. Then I'm going to glue all the way along there. I'm going to look here as to how far over it's going to go. So I want to come down. To be fair, I want to be looking at this side. I'm going to come down to about there-ish. Although that's where it's good. So we're just going to glue there. About 1 centimetre on this side will be enough because it will overlap. Okay, so now what I want to do is look at this. I'm gonna turn it upside. I'm gonna put it on its side because I want this to be level with the edge. So I'm gonna put it up like that so that they can both be on my desk. So I kind of know how far to bring it in. I'm going to take that flip down now, so I'll make sure I'm not gluing to that. And that is now nicely on the edge there. So now we just need to glue this on the other side, and I could glue this as a bit of a shallow tuck, so I might glue all the way along there and then just glue the sides in. I think that will work. So I'm going to put my glue. I'm going to put a bit of double-sided tape under that just to hold it right. I did clear my double-sided tape away. So just to make sure that this is held in really well, like we did on the front. Glue that down, put some more on top so that that ribbon will definitely be held in place like so. And then I'm going to put my glue all the way along this edge. I'm going to go just up there on that inside cover, and then on here I'm just going to glue down the two sides, and I'm going to, just to emphasize it, I'm going to just do a little thumb notch so we know it's a pocket. And glue that directly over that one. There we go. So we have got that ribbon will come around there, and sorry, a nice bow like that. You've got a nice long strip to allow it to grow. So that's the basics of our little journal that you will open up like so. Might put something more on there. So we've got 3 pockets there. We open them down, pocket there, pocket there, pocket there. We've got our little side tuck there. I might put another little pocket on that side to match it, actually. Now we're into the realms of me making it up as I go along. So I think we want a little pocket on that side, and then I think I want a little pocket on that, so we'll bring in this to make a matching pocket there, and then I might think of putting some sort of mat in the middle there. I might grab some scraps from here to create a nice mat. Not that one because it's not big enough, but something like that. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make some things to go in, and I'm gonna show you at the end what I've done, and if there's any little bits that need demonstrating, I will do that. So it's nearly finished. I've got to a bit where I think I probably should show you. I've used this lovely wavy trim just to add something extra there on the cover. I just used some tea dye paper, and I just made little cards. I've used the very best trio punch on all of the corners, and I've used the lovely Dainty Delight stamp set to decorate it, and I've used pecan pie to do all the stamping and the inking. So, and they are just measured so that they fit in my pockets. So if you measure what you've got, basically they're 3 3/4 tall. These are, I think, 3.5 wide, and then these I just kept having to trim it down till I got what I needed. And then these are just little squares here, and I say I just stamped over them, added the trim there to finish those pockets off. So I wanted something for here, so I'm gonna do little notebook. So I'm gonna use this sort of strip here to do a little sort of belly band across there, so the notebook will fit under there and be reusable. So it used to be used for photos, and then you've got your little notebook for your memories maybe. And so I'm using this sheet of paper from the pack. So we got the blue there to match the blue on the inside, and then this side will go with it. So I cut it to 5 inches by 3.5, and I want this bit to fold over the front. So I want to make sure that lengthwise I am about right. So it's sort of 4 inches tall, so I thought I might go to 3 3/4. So I'm going to score at 3 3/4 there. Maybe I'm going to go 3.5. I'm going to go 3.5. Changing my mind, that's what I do. I'm going to give it a little 1/8 of an inch there at the top, I think. Just a really small sort of gusset. I don't want it too bulky. So that should be okay. So I'm just going to burnish that. We've got one of these really small areas there. There we go. So that is going to fold over there. Didn't burnish that quite straight. There we go. We'll just rectify that. Yep. And that's going to be, yeah, a little notebook in there. That'll be cool. And then that glue down either side, and it should pop in. I may have to trim a smidge off this side actually to fit it in, but I think that will look cool, and we'll have the pages coming down. So I'm going to stick this down so that I know whether or not that needs coming off. So should be 4 inches on there, so I might take it a little smidge under 4, just that sort of little. The next line is a 16th. People, I think, get a bit scared of a 16th. I'm going to take this down as well to 1 1/4. I think the 1.5 is a bit long there, so that'll fit in there. Just gonna check that it will fold over, still be in there. Glasses would be a good idea here, Jess. Check. Yeah, I want it to be on the inside of the score line, so I think that works. So now I'm going to put a little thin bead of glue down the edge, and this is what might require this to be trimmed a tad. So just going to put it in there. It's just a little way from the top. Oh, God. So I'm gonna, Collal gives you plenty of wriggle time, so I'm gonna leave that a sec to dry there. I'm going to put a block on top. Got a block here that's got me stamp mounted. So then I'm just going to get some coffee paper, tea dyed paper even, to make my little notepad. So I've got my tea dyed paper, so I'm just going to check this and see if this will go down, and it will. So that's brilliant. So cool. I'll move this out of the way and make a little notepad. So what did I say I cut these at? 3.5. So I'm gonna cut my paper just shy of 3.5. And how tall is it? Right, so I'm gonna do strips down here, a little bit shorter, so just that 1/16 shorter, and 3.5. Should get 3 strips. Great. Just going to make my knife. Just going to fold these in half. I have to trim off the bottom, but that'll be okay. Don't want anything too thick, so this is going to give me 6 sheets for 3 pages. So that's 12 sides. There we go. So I'm going to put them. Top of each other like so. And they will fit under there nicely. That's cool. So I need to trim off the bottom. I'm going to use my guillotine for this. And looking at this, I'm going to take 1/2 inch off the bottom here. So I'm going to come in to there. That should be about right. Let's check. I need to come in another one. I had a feeling, I was like, not sure. That's right, we'll do another one. So not really measuring, just sort of judging. There, might do a tiny smidge more. That is a technical measurement. There we go. Yep, perfect. That's what I want. So that's my little notebook, little strips there that I can use at a later date for someone else. Now you could round the edges if you want to. I think I'm just going to leave it like that, but I might make this top sort of match the edges of journaling cards that I've done there, so it just gives it a little bit of interest there. So I think I might just sew it in place and have a little bow at the top. So I decided on a 3-hole pamphlet slip stitch and had it so the bow's on the outside. I've done quite a few videos on sewing in signatures like this, so I didn't think you need to see it again. And if you decide to do it this way, you wouldn't really need to leave that gusset. You could just do it like you would a little, you know, folded in half journal. So that will just pop in here, and that's it finished off. And of course you could decorate this any way you wanted. You could add clusters to these bits. I'm just leaving it simple like that for now. I might do another one at some point where I use different papers and have a theme and add other things to it. But there we go. That's my little fun fold. Little fun fold, one sheet, little journal. Well, little, I don't know, could be an ephemera holder, folio, little mini album, whatever. Okay, so hope you enjoyed that. Hope you go and pop and see what everybody else has made, and I'll be back very soon with another project for you. Bye for now.